Right, recording now. So yeah, just a little introduction about UN Mappers, the crowdsourcing community of UN Maps. So a little introduction. The United Nations Global Service Center, or UNGSC, is the service center catering to UN peacekeeping missions, political missions in the field and beyond, and yeah, different entities of the United Nations. So we have two offices in Italy, which is in Brindisi, and also in Valencia, Spain. So UNGSC provides innovative technological and geospatial solutions for the UN system. And one of or part of the UNGSC program is the UN Maps. So the UN Maps program aims to enrich topographic maps, operational geoinformation, search and navigation tools, and imagery and street level base maps that supports the United Nations peacekeeping mission as well as humanitarian efforts. So through this initiative, we help countries torn by conflict to create the necessary conditions for the lasting peace. And yeah, UN Maps integrates UN data with a wide range of data, including open data like OpenStreetMap, in order to produce useful applications and technology. We are supported by an in-house capacity of staff and consultants, as well as, of course, the crowdsourcing community, the UN Mappers community. So yes, just to share with you the products or services that UN Maps produce. So through this open data, all the geospatial data that UN Mappers community are inputting to OpenStreetMap, our output or our map products are different map products like the standard. This is the base map or UN Street Map, which is the base map in the UN, and other map services like the search, the direction. We are also our services and products are also available in different not only in desktop but also in mobile apps. And this UN Maps UN Maps is used for a wide variety of usefulness or usage, which is for example, in patrolling, our peacekeepers and troops use UN maps in their patrolling in the ground, showing them the safest route possible, the patrolled roads. It is also used for planning, in humanitarian relief, in logistics, security, and reporting. So UN maps. One of the most important aspect of UN maps is the UN mappers community, because the UN mappers community is the volunteer arm or the crowdsourcing arm of UN maps that um help help us to edit or to generate features for the base map of UN maps. And who are the UN mappers? Also, diverse set of people ranging from remote volunteers, national cartographic agencies. We also have local communities and trainers on the ground. Lots of our volunteers are in the JIS community, I believe. Lots of them as well, are also in universities and academia. And even our uniform personnel in our peacekeeping missions also help enrich the UN maps. And this is just how the UN mappers contribute to UN maps. So we create our mapping projects using a project management tool called the Hot Tasking Manager, and this is where we conduct our crowd mapping, and then this crowd mapping will then undergo professional validation, which is we hope to raise new validators through this training in order to produce high quality data that will be very usable and utilized in our UN map services, and all of this is to benefit local communities. And how does one become a UN mapper? So it's very simple. You learn, you map, and then join the community. Yeah, so the first one is, yeah, you learn how to map. You you go to a webinar or a mapathon with your local community. You also went here with us in the UN Maps, and yeah, one of the great one of the resources that we are very proud of is the UN Maps Learning Hub. It's a free, open, accessible, and multilingual self-paced training platform. So we have three publicly available courses right now: OSM Basic, OSM Advanced, and the newest one is the QGIS training. So these three courses are available publicly. One course that is exclusive for UN staff only is the UNJO Portal Basics. So there are lots of materials, or lots of the materials here in our validation training is here in the OSM Advanced course. So yeah, we encourage you to go through that course. Yeah, if you are a beginner, yeah, uh, uh, you can complete the course in OSM Basics and then advance to the OSM Advanced. And yeah, all of this we provide UN certificate of completion for these courses. Yeah, so after you learn, now yeah, you are ready to map. Go to a mapathon, map using your phones, and also yeah, go to community trainings and all. We actually conduct, or last year we held monthly MAPI hours for our community. So yeah, we postponed the MAPI hours since we are more focusing on on trainings, and we also we get requests from universities and community to provide them training as well. So this one I believe is with the Kathmandu University youth mappers. Excuse me. So you learn, and then you map, and yeah, you are now part of the community. You've contributed to the to UN Mappers or UN Maps by mapping our project. And yeah, we are you can join us via Discord and also social media. We are there. You can scan this QR code, and yeah, we will also share this with you through the chat. One thing that we do to be able to recognize our volunteers or our exceptional volunteers in the UN Mappers community is that yeah, we recognize our mapper of the month. So yeah, that's every month. So yeah, here are just one of the few faces behind the usernames and behind the map that yeah really make great contribution in UN Maps. Most of them mappers, but yeah, some of them are also trainers and educators and even translators. So yeah, a lot of those resources that I shared, you can go or you can check through our website maps.un.org. So just a little bit of recap. Again, last January we held beginner trainings in using OSM ID editor and JOSM. So right now, yeah, we are doing the validation training targeted to those yeah who have experience in mapping in OpenStreetMap. And yeah, just to yeah share, maybe I'll share this with you later again. But yeah, if you have any questions, kindly let me know before I pass it over to Mikel. Let me just check the. Thank you so much for introducing your names in the chat. So yeah, if no questions for today or for now, you can ask it anytime in the chat, of course, and then yeah, we'll address it later. But for now, I will stop sharing my screen and pass it over to my colleague Mikel, who will uh, lead us through the validation training. Over to you, Mikel.
Thank you, Arnali. I'm wondering whether you are hearing me correctly and seeing me
Yeah.
correctly, because my connection, I think, is not very good today. Okay, so I will be go through the different validation techniques that we typically use in OpenStreetMap. I was reading a little bit the chat of the participants, And I wanted to add that this will not be like a training on JOSM. So I showed JOSM like in detail in the previous session that I think it's recorded and available online, Arnali, if I'm right. Okay, okay. Okay, perfect. So that link will be available to you if you want to see the explanation of JOSM. We will be using JOSM anyway today, so I will be um, going anyway. And I wanted to like focus in detail into the tools that we use to evaluate. Ali was in us. We do have a learning platform that you should know by now that is called UN Maps Learning Hub. So I will just go through it very quickly. So in the UN Maps Learning Hub, we have several courses, out of which one is the OSM Advanced. You can find,
Mikhail, I'm not sure if it's just me. Maybe,
yes.
yeah, I'm not sure if it's just me, but you're kind of cutting. So maybe you can turn off your camera to save some bandwidth and turn off
Yes, yes,
your.
you. Okay, let me know if, and feel free to interrupt me if you don't.
Okay.
You should be able to see my screen. Okay. So
It is.
like as I was
For
saying,
It is
sorry,
still
sorry, yes.
loading for, yeah, it's still loading for me. I don't know about the others. Yeah, no screen share available yet.
Let me know when you see my screen actually.
Not yet still. Can you close and then retry? Oh, there you go. It loaded now.
Okay, so you should be able to see the UN Maps Learning Hub. I am on the OSM validation topic in the OSM Advanced course.
Yes.
Okay, okay, perfect. So what I was saying is that in a Maps Learning Hub we do have and the other topics included in the validation part of the course are interactions with other contributors. So how we should communicate with other OpenStreetMap contributors whenever we are whenever we are reaching out to them
Sorry to
to
interrupt,
communicate
but
the
we
errors.
cannot
Yes.
see the video in the chat. I'm not the only one having the problem. We just see your as initial of your name, but we cannot see the screen share.
Okay, okay, clear. So
Okay, can you retry again, Michael? For me it's loading now, but yeah, I think most of. Okay, let's just wait. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Now it's loading. How about you guys?
Yes, now
Yeah.
it is.
All right. Thank you, Giovanni. Go ahead, Mikel.
okay, thank you. Yeah, feel free to interrupt me whenever you don't see my screen, because I cannot understand from my side. So yeah, basically what I was saying is that the course is including validation techniques, so all the tools that we use to identify quality issues in the SAM data. The interactions, so how we should communicate with OSM contributors whenever we are telling them about errors, what are the different ways on how we can reach out. And then the OSM validation workflow. So all the workflows that we have to follow to do like a consistent validation procedure. So speaking about the validation techniques, I will go through right now 2 different websites that we typically use for validation. To do so, I should change my share to the browser that is that should come right now. So the different tools, there are like a bunch of web services that we use to validate OSM data. The first one that I want to show today is called Osmose. Obviously, I mean, if you Google it, you should search for Osmose OpenStreetMap. Otherwise, you will find things related to chemics and chemistry. And what happens in this web application is that basically we can pan the map and we can zoom in and zoom out to visualize some errors. And there is a list of OpenStreetMap tagging errors that Osmose is preparing for us. And those are automatically evaluated across all the map. So whenever we visualize an area, for example, here I was in France, but we can be anywhere in the world. So let's go, for example, in Somalia. If we zoom in, we will see some pins popping out, and those pins are automatically detected by Osmose on the current OpenStreetMap data. And these pins are actually tagging errors most of the times. So if we click on a pin, for example, this red pin here, we can see, well, unfortunately, the web application is using your browser language. So I have the browser in Italian, so I will translate for you. But basically, in this case, we have a point, a node that is a tourism guest house, and the name of the house is like is not in the is not in the general. I mean, you see, we have name equal to something else that is the tag that we are having in OSM, but in this specific node, only the English version of the name is included. So the English version is name2.en equal to safehouse2. While in theory, before having translations, we should have the general tag name equal to something, and that is like the predefined name for the object. So this is like the explanation of this error. You shouldn't have like name2.en without like a name tag, and the system is automatically detecting this for you. And you can either fix it through JOSM, through ID editor, and so on. The tool is providing this pop-up. So we have for example, the node ID. So if we check this node ID, we will be thrown to OpenStreetMap. And you see, we can see more details about this node. So the node has like their ID. So this is a unique identifier for the node object. We have a version. So this is version 1. It means it's the first version of this object. So this node has never been modified in the past. So this is the unique version existing for this node. It was created almost 2 years ago, the 6th of April in 2024, by this user, Moha Free, in this chain set. So we can see the details of the node. And this is very important when doing validation because it allows us to infer many things. The first thing that we can infer is how old is the data. So if it is new data, is probably more accurate than old data. But most importantly, it allows us to define who we are speaking with. Because if we go to check the details of the user, for example, you see this Moha 3 user, we can go to their user page and we can see that this is like a mapper since April 6, 2024. That is the same date that I mentioned before. And then the last map edit is also on April 6, 2024. So this user actually committed only one chainset. And you see, like he created only this guest house. So we will have to check whether this data is actually real or not, because it seems here we have a river, we are close to a road, but we are in a rather savanna area or desertic area. So we should check whether this is real information or not. So most probably it is not. And once we identify this node, for example, we can, if we want to use ID editor, for example, we can just click on edit. So we won't access, in this specific case, the tasking manager of hot, but we are just going to edit the point right ahead. So unfortunately, my internet today is really not helping me. But yeah, here we are editing the point. So you see, I have this safe house that is in the middle of farmland. Most probably here we are in wet season because I see a lot of water, but there is no guest house in this area. So I can just delete the object. I will just click on it, delete, and then I can save my change set by writing what I did, deleted an non-existent guest house. And I can add also hashtags. So for example, I'm adding hashtag UN mappers to identify my contribution as one coming from the UN mappers community. And I can specify the source, aerial imagery, and I will upload it. So in just a couple of clicks, I validated a data point that was not existing. Because I mean, I cannot see any guest house in that area. Obviously, I mean, guest houses are like POI information. So if we have a building and we see a guest house inside, we cannot validate unless we don't have a ground truth information. Like if we are in the in the area and we see a building with a guest house, we can say that exists. But here we are in the middle of farmlands, so for sure this is not existing, and this is a validation that we are doing. So obviously, I don't know how often Osmose is refreshing their data. That is like a good question. So if I'm refreshing, most probably the error is still there. Yes, safe house is still there. What I can do is like, I can say that I corrected the error by clicking on this green tick. And this is in order to, I mean, this is to avoid that the system will detect this error again. But anyway, my guess is that they are checking currently all the data and throwing the errors. So this was like a small explanation of Osmose. There are different categories of errors. You see like these red, orange, and yellow classes. So these are for the, let's say, kind of importance of the error. So we have errors like of high importance, so like very big errors. medium importance or low importance. So in this case, I selected a yellow error, and it says about this pond that you can see with these blue stripes. If we click on the error, it says that it should be a polygon or part of a multi-polygon or without the tag area. So in this case, we have a reservoir, natural water, and the error is that this polygon is probably not closed. Indeed, you see that here is open on one side. And this is definitely an issue because this should be a polygon. So we can, if we want to solve this error, we can just do the same. So we go on ID editor and we can edit the object right ahead, or we can click, for example, on JOSM, and this will load the object on a JOSM session. So this is Osmose in a very brief explanation. You can filter errors. So here we are selecting high importance errors, but for example, we can search for medium importance. So you see we will have only the yellow pinpoints. So for example, here we have a highway that is intersecting a water surface. And on the right, the Osmose will also teach us what the error is about and what shall we do. So in this case, if I'm able to check closely, we have basically you see a road that is crossing a waterway. And so in this case, how we should solve this issue? We should map on the node at the intersection, like we can put a tag like Ford equal to yes, meaning that the road, you can pass through the road going actually on top of the water when there is like a low tide. Or we should map tunnels or bridges. I showed how to do this in the previous meeting that we had, but probably we are going to see it together today. But anyway, this is Osmose in few words. I don't know if you have any questions so far, or if you had any problems in hearing my explanation so far due to connection problems.
So hi, Mikel. There's a question in the chat from Ephraim. So hi, will we be given access to Osmose once we become an official validator, or can we explore it while still not an official validator?
Yes, so all these tools are open source tools, and they are available to everybody to use independently from your validators' rights or or memberships. The only things that that is basically giving you right as a validator is to edit on Tasking Manager projects. So once, until we are not reaching to the Tasking Manager project, all the tools that I'm going to show are usable by anybody, even if you are not a validator, or if you are a total beginner, or if you don't know how to use JOSM, all these tools are usable by anybody. So Osmose is one of them. And then I'm going to show at least 3 others. Any other question, Natalie?
Not a lot, but there's just one issue on the QGIS training for the Learning Hub, but we will check that. Thank you for raising that,
Okay.
Giovanni. Yeah.
Okay, yes, let's take it offline. Okay, so this is Osmose is one of my favorite because you can it has a very complete list of errors, and you can even query the different errors. So like so there are like tagging errors, geometric errors associated to different tags, and you can really do the most out of it by querying and searching for errors. Then another one that I wanted to share is OSM Inspector. Is a tool by GeoFabric that is basically a company that is providing OSM data extracts for different administrative regions. This is more about geometries. So if we can access the tool. So first of all, let me share the different tools that I'm using in the chat. So I'm going to put Osmose. This is the link. And then I'm using OSM Inspector. So OSM Inspector is more about geometries. What we can see here, yes. Arnali, thank you. If you can mute participants, it will be easier for me. Okay, so this is about geometries. We do have issues like long ways or ways with long segments, or way nodes that are duplicated, or ways maybe with a single node. So all of these are very, let's say, there are problems in OSM, because if we have very long ways, for example, there are some conditions in which we are not permitted to have very long ways, and by very long ways I mean ways composed by too many nodes, especially like when we are doing I think a way cannot have like more than 2,000 nodes. So there are like sometimes a good recommendation is to avoid having too long way or segments. And by going to OSM Inspector, what we can do is just to zoom into the different objects. For example, here we have the Meru National Park in Kenya. And we can see, we can click on the object, and we can visualize the tags, the length, the way ID, and so on. And this is a long way, so this has to be made simple, either by reducing the number of nodes. So in this case, we have 1,900 nodes composing this feature. And there are like several ways to do this. The first one will be to either simplify the geometry. So in JOSM, there are like ways to simplify the geometry. Well, let me see if I can just show very quickly. So here we have ID. So if I click on this icon of JOSM, I should be able to download it, but I cannot because it's too big of a feature. Yes. So I should ideally go there. I can try maybe with ID editor. So you see the feature is too big because it's like a huge polygon. So ideally what I should do here is to either split it into open ways, and then I can map it as a multi-polygon. So this could be an option. But anyway, the problem is that too many nodes are composing this polygon. Then this is like about long ways. Then the green selections are ways that are like with long segments. So this is similar. In this case, it's much simpler because we just need to make the segments smaller. Then we have ways. Sorry, self-intersecting ways. So, for example, those red ones. Let's try these ones to open on JOSM. So if I click, so what I did is to click on the error here on OSM Inspector. So this red error here, and I will be seeing it on JOSM. So now I can share my JOSM session. If it is open, it will download the error. So this way that is affected by error. And I can see here we do have like a very strange situation in which you see the geometry is a bit mess, because I can see I don't know if you see this. This is a path that is going in this direction, and everything seems all right until here, while we have some self-intersection, and it is mainly because probably one of the nodes has been moved. So in order to solve this problem, what I can do is just to delete the nodes that are all messed around. So you see now the road is, I just removed everything. And then by selecting the object, so as I select the object, I click on well, I can either click on the last node, I press A, and I can continue the way until connected to the closest path on the other side. So in this way, I should be able to remove this self-intersection. Then I can easily spot another error here, that is this building that is crossing the highway, this highway equal to path. So this is some easy validation that I can do. I solved this self-intersection, and I have to upload the data. So as I was saying in the previous session, JOSM is also running a data validator. And in this particular case, we have crossing highways that I still didn't spot, and JOSM will throw the validation for me. So you see here at the bottom right, I will have a window called validation results with a list of warnings. There are either warnings and errors. So warnings are things that typically I can even leave as it is, while errors have to be corrected most often. And if I right click on this error, this warning, I can click zoom to problem, and I can see where the problem is. So I see there is, in this case, a way that is this highway path that is going this direction. And then there is this other way that is intersecting in one node and then on another node. So it's a bit a messy situation as well. So what I can do here is either to delete those two nodes, but this will most probably detach the two segments, or I can press M by selecting those two nodes. So M is to merge different objects. You will see it also here in Tools, Merge Nodes. And you see with Merge Nodes, I'm basically merging all the nodes all together in such a way that here the situation with the segments is good now. What I can do is to also perform the data validation again. So if here in the window validation results, I will have this button called performs the data validation. And if I click it, you see the error disappeared because I solved it. So this is like a validation that I did on data that I didn't trace. So this is data that was already present on OSM, but I just inherited the error because I'm just mapping it with the very same objects. So when I upload all the changes with the arrow pointing up here in JOSM, I will have I will be done with the validation. The JOSM is not throwing any error anymore, so I can write I solved some errors regarding highway connectivity, and then I put hashtag UNMappers, and I upload the changes. So in this way, I solved the issues by using OSM inspector. Let me go back to OSM inspector. So the next time that it will refresh, this error about the intersection points will disappear. So this was OSM inspector. It's another tool that you can check, and is nice to know. Any questions so far?
No questions so far.
Okay,
Just
perfect.
Yeah, time-wise, yeah, we are almost top of the hour. So just want to, but yeah, we have 40 more minutes.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, here is the
there is
hand
an
up.
end up.
Yeah, from Arnold. Go ahead, Arnold. You can unmute.
Hello?
Oh, it's actually
hello, are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Is the OSM inspector do the same as the OJSM validation showing you the point where there is an error, or is it show in different way?
Yes, exactly. I think now I don't remember whether JOSM is based on top of Osmose or OSM inspector, but I believe it's based on Osmose. So ideally, all the errors that you will see on Osmose should be detected by the OSM data validator as well. But yes, OSM inspector is also very useful because it's is mainly focusing on geometric errors, and especially on very big objects, like those that may be relevant at the national level. So for OSM communities, I mean OSM national communities, that can be very useful to check whether the data in their countries is correctly mapped. Hope I answered your question, but yes, JOSM I think is based on Osmose, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so if there are no further questions, I'm going to show now who did it. I don't know if I shared already the link in the chat. No, yes, here it is. So who did it? It's a nice tool that allows us to understand who is mapping in our area. So let's say that I'm still in Somalia, and I want to check the age of the data. So I can check who was mapped in an area in the previous, let's say, day, week, month, or eternity. So I will just select eternity for sake of example. And I can zoom in an area in Somalia. So what the tool will do is that whenever I zoom in, I'm zooming in enough, I will see those small squares, green, yellow, and red. And those squares are basically saying the amount of data that was created, modified, or deleted in this tile. So, for example, if I click this small tile, I can see there are like some chain sets. So these are the IDs of the chain sets contributed by, in this case, UNGSC Maria Teresa, that is a colleague of us. And it was performed in November the 3rd in the 2023. Then we have another one from her in the day before, November the 2nd. And then we have also a more recent chain set that is by, well, sorry, it's is a more old chain set by the user Tebama. And this is also including some hashtags like HotOSM project. So we know that this user was using the tasking manager by Hot. Hashtag El Niño 2023. This is like a chain set related to a mapping campaign. And then that is using data coming from FAO, in this case, the Swalim team in FAO. So if I click on a yellow task, we can see that the data here is also a bit more. It's always about 2023. So if I'm putting the cursor on top of the chain sets, I can see the dates. I can see this mapping activity, but the task, I mean, this square will be yellow because there is like a bigger activity. For example, in September the 7th, 2023, I can see this user, UNGSC Girachi, that is also a colleague of us, created a huge amount of nodes. So in this case, 2,500 nodes, 171 ways, and 47 relations. So this was like a huge contribution, and that's why the activity in this area is much higher, and the task is this square is yellow. The same should go for the red ones. I think the red ones are more for deleted objects. So you see, we have only one deletion in this tile. 4 nodes deleted in this tile. So this tile will be red because there is a deletion of data. So this is useful because we can see where activity is mostly focusing, and we can see also a list of users that mapped in the area. So this is useful if we want to meet other mappers that are editing in the same area as ours, and we can click on the chain set and visualize the activity as we did before. So just to conclude, the last tool is OSM Cha. That is a very well-known tool to analyze chain sets. So what you have to do is first of all to log in. Let me share the link in the chat. So in OSM Cha, what you can do is to visualize the chain sets. So you can filter the chain sets by dates, for example, if you want to see contributions coming from mappers only in a specific time range. And you can also filter the chain set comments by keyword. So for example, let's say that I want to see only chain sets that went through the tasking manager of Hot. So you can filter in here. You can put and then I can click apply. So apply here on the top right. So you see, if I do this, I can see a list of chain sets updated every 5 minutes, I will say. And the last one is this user, Tebama, that we also saw before. And this user contributed this chain set and we can see the details. So this is the chain set comment. We can see that he changed 96 nodes and 24 ways. And we can also see which ways. So ideally, this user, it seems, is mapping buildings, as many of the users from the tasking manager. And we can also click on the objects to see what he did. So basically, you see the blue ones are objects that he created. So we know that this user was creating this building. The white ones are the modified buildings. So these were buildings with an existing geometry, that is this big square here that was made smaller and more precise. So we know that this guy is modifying buildings. And then we have here a yellow building. So this one was modified the geometry. And it's yellow because it was also modified the tag. So it was a building equal to yes, it became a building equal to construction. So with this, we can also infer what the user is doing. So this is useful because if you want to study specific chain sets, you can see exactly what happened. So which tags have been changed and everything, which ways were created, which nodes were deleted, and so on. Everything is available on OSM as well, on the OpenStreetMap.org website. But this is providing like a nice visualization to see what happened. So for completeness, I will show you that you can actually do the same on OpenStreetMap. So if let me just find IOPT. Okay, so chain sets open with well, okay, here I can click on this icon, see on OSM. And this will throw me in the page of OpenStreetMap.org, in which we should be able to see exactly the same information. So you see, this is the bounding box in where the chain sets, the same chain set happened. We have a list of ways and a list of nodes that were created, modified. And we can check the what happened. So if we click on chain set XML, we will see the metadata information in a XML format.
Hello.
So this is, yes.
Trial.
This is, sorry, Arnaline, you can mute participants. Thank you. I was saying this is if you want to access the data as a XML. So if you are building an application, you may use this way to access metadata information. This is about the chain set. So you will see the comment, for example, or the ID, the user that created the chain set. But the same information is available if we click on OSM change XML. So you see whether the nodes were or ways created. So this is available all in XML format. And what OSM Chai is doing is basically to parse this XML information and to provide it in a let's say WebGIS way. So this is like more clear for a everyday user. Okay, these were like 4 tools that are useful for validation to understand what users within OSM are doing and to spot already existing problems. Now I will switch very briefly to the validation through the tasking manager. So I suppose most of you already know how to use the tasking manager. You just log in with your OSM account and then you go to humanitarian projects that are open in here, and you can select you can take some areas for your contribution, block those areas, and and perform mapping on OSM without having like other users doing, let's say, concurrent mapping in your very same area. So this is like a more a tool for, I mean, to coordinate crowdsourcing contributions. And for here, just for me to show you how we do validation. So let me put the project in here. So once we are in this page, this is a project about mapping roads in the Selgade area. We click on contribute here. And you see like this area is like a 27 kilometers by 27, like it's a typical 1 to 50K scale topographic map. And it is divided by 100 small squares and with different colors. So you see there are no white squares because all the area was completely mapped by volunteers. But it means that this data is this area is completely full of data. So all the roads were supposedly mapped by the volunteers. And what we have to do now is to validate. So the blue tasks are those in which users already mapped and they said, okay, this area is fully mapped and there is nothing more to be done. Then we have the green ones. Green ones were already validated. So in this case, I clicked on one and I can see our Engelbert model from Cameroon, and it was validating all these tasks. So so basically, we know that he was going through this mapping, was visualizing all the OSM data and checking whether it was correct or not. If yes, they were just saying the task is finished, and so is not possible to validate it anymore because it's currently validated. Then there is like unavailable tasks. This one is in case the imagery is not very good. And then we have more mapping needed. Those where it's basically the opposite of the validation. So in this case, there were some missing data or some errors present in these small squares. And what the user said is that, okay, I'm validating the data, the task is not finished, so I will just put it as such. And other users will have to come back to this task and add more data. So one difference between validation and mapping is that once I'm validating, I can select more tasks. So if I want to validate an area, for example, these 6 squares, I can select all of them by clicking on top of them. Here in the editor, I can select JOSM because this is what I'm using. And then I click validate 6 tasks. So remember, in this project, we are validating only roads. So this is what we are going to check. So if I open JOSM, you see that it will download all the data within these 6 tasks. So we can see there is down below here some multi-polygons. This is to map land cover, so we will not touch this. What we have to do is to check only the state of the roads, if everything is fine, and to submit it and validate the project. So one important thing that I should take care of is, first of all, the classification of roads. As I was saying in the previous session, in JOSM, we change colors and map styles. So I have like my personal color legenda for highways. In this case, I have unclassified roads that are orange and tracks that are green. I use those colors because I'm mapping in Somalia. I mean, the landscape is kind of orange, brownish. So I should have I changed basically the colors that JOSM was proposing me. But one important thing that I have to do here is to ensure that the hierarchy of roads is working fine. So unclassified roads, just to recall the previous training that we had, are main connectors connecting villages among, I mean, with each other. So we can see from the previous mapping by other users that there is a unclassified road that is coming from here, and then there are like a bunch of tracks. We have another unclassified road here from the southwest. Yes.
I don't know. I'm only seeing tasking manager. I'm not seeing the JOSM.
Yes, because I'm not sharing. Good catch.
Okay.
Let me let me share again. Sorry for that.
Okay.
You should
You're
be
on.
able to see it, Joss, now.
It's still the tasking manager for me.
Yes, we are seeing Jaws
Oh, there.
now.
Oh yeah, JOSM
Okay,
now.
okay, thank you. Yeah, sorry. I was just saying that I have this orange road that is the unclassified road connecting villages going from southwest to the east. And then I have another one coming from the north here. And the rest is green tracks. So tracks are usually roads, are motorized roads connecting agricultural and forestry areas. I went through the tagging of these features in the previous session, so I will just be very quick on this. So the first thing that I have to do once validating the road topology is first of all to ensure that the hierarchy of roads is good. And what I mean by that is that roads have like different hierarchies. We are going to from primary to secondary to tertiary roads in the tagging schema of OSM. And then we have unclassified roads that are connecting villages. And later on, we have tracks and so on. So when we are mapping unclassified roads, an important thing is that we have to ensure whether these roads are really connecting one with each other. So most probably, the unclassified road has to connect in some way to this other one. Despite is passing through an agricultural area, it is important that all the connectors are connecting with each other. So what I should do here is to check whether the roads are really existing or not. So for example, here I can activate or deactivate layers on JSON so I can see below the data. And actually you see this road is not even existing. So I should probably delete it because I mean, roads in desertic areas are there only if people are passing through them. So this one is mostly disappeared. So it's very important for us to just delete this road because it's not existing. So I can just click on the road and delete it. And I should always be careful about if I can see it. Like this is like, for example, a small path. I can see there is a very small trace that also is disappearing, but is still existing. So I should map it. So here in this stage, what we are doing is just mapping. So like unfortunately there is no secret to rather than only mapping. Sorry, here the tags are wrong. So here what I did is to use fast draw to map the road. Fast draw is a plugin that with Shift F is going to allow me to draw with by just moving the mouse. And what I have to do here is just to apply the same tags as the ones that I was as the other roads that I can find here. So For example, we have surface equal to unpaved in this case. So here, an important thing is to ensure that roads are existing, because you see, like, this one is still existing but disappearing, but I will keep it for this time. I can see, for example, this road is not existing. So I should be very careful about what I see, because users, I mean, most of the times contributors tend to create objects rather than deleting them. So, for example, there are like these very old roads that are not existing anymore, that are still there and nobody is saying them. Should be deleted completely because they are not existing. If I want to check on JOSM information about the user that created the road, I should select an object with S. I mean, S, enter the selection mode. I click on an object. I press Ctrl H. And with Ctrl H, I can check the history of the object. So I can see, for example, that this object was contributed in 2011. So it's like 15 years ago was created this road. Then there was me. That is interesting. I can see myself in 2020 interacting with this road. That is interesting because I'm like in a complete random area in Somalia. Then we have Frances interacting with this road in 2021. And then we have Ken Vaifei that is present in this meeting. You interacted with this road in 26 in January. The 26th of January in 2026. And you did, I mean, you see what Ken was doing was to adding nodes to this road. Let me see. You see, I mean, I can check what the user did, because, for example, from the initial version to, let's say, my version that was just the one after the first one, you see, myself, I deleted the attribution because I was probably updating this road, and I changed the track type from grade 2 to grade 1. This is like a specific sub-tag of highway track. Then I can check my other contribution was to delete some nodes. So I deleted these 3 nodes and modified the 22nd node of the way. Then I can check the difference between Frances. So Frances added 2 nodes, those 2 green ones, and deleted the surface tag. That is an interesting change. And then Ken Vaifei created 2 nodes from the version of Frances, and then from his previous version created another 2 nodes in another chain set that happened 15 minutes after. So you see, with these tools, I can understand exactly what happened to this road. It's a very old road, as we said. It's a data object. It has 15 years of existence. And you see that anyway, some other users, anyway, you see they mapped what the modern version of this road. So this road is actually already being substituted by another geometry. So what I can do is just to delete it, because you see on the imagery, it doesn't exist anymore. So I cannot see on the satellite imagery, but this road is this one. I mean, it's this one is existing. If I delete the OSM data, I mean, if I hide it, you see it's on the satellite imagery. So this road, I'm sure it's the same, and that's the way I'm validating the road. What we were saying before about the intersections between highways and roads, sorry, waterways and highways. If I see, for example, in this case, we have a small intermittent stream that is passing through this area and is crossing this unclassified road. So once the road is crossing a stream that anyway is passable with vehicles or by feet because the water level is low, we should put on the node Ford equal to yes. So only this node will have Ford equal to yes as a tag. And this allows routing algorithms to understand that I can pass through this road although there is a waterway crossing. And this also will allow Osmose and the JOSM data validator not to have an error because this is a perfectly fine combination. Another option, as we were saying the previous time, I will be very quick on this. I can either have a tunnel. So for example, if I have a waterway stream that is crossing this road, a perfectly fine solution from the routing point of view is to have a small segment of this stream to be a tunnel. So I will just split the segment, and the segment will also have tunnel equal to yes. Whoop, tunnel equal to yes or culvert. No, tunnel equal to yes is fine. I think it could be also culvert is fine. So here you can specify the type of tunnel that that in which the waterway is passing through, and then we can add also layer equal to -1. This means that it will be rendered below the road, and this is also a perfectly fine solution in which you see a waterway is intersecting with with an highway, although they are not sharing nodes. But this should work fine. The other solution is the other way around. If we have a road passing on top of a waterway, what we can do here is first of all we map the road. So let's say highway residential. We split the segment that is passing on top of the stream, and this segment will have a bridge equal to yes, and also a layer equal to 1. So this is the way in which we are mapping bridges that are passing on top of streams. While in this case, we have the stream that is passing below the road. Those two ways of mapping are fine and will not throw errors when validating roads. In this specific projects that we have now, we don't have any, like most of them, we don't have bridges or culverts, or they are already mapped. Most of them have Fords, so we just put Ford equal to yes on the node intersecting streams or waterways with highways. Okay, then just to recap a little bit, now that I downloaded all the data, I can do the validation. So I just click the validate data in JOSM in the validation results window, and you see it will throw 6 warnings, and I have to go through all these warnings and correct them one by one. So I will see crossing barrier and highway. So barriers and highways, they shouldn't cross in any case. And actually, I cannot see here really a barrier. I mean, there is a barrier that is disappearing. So I think the easiest for me here is just to split those two, to go through all the steps. I press S, I go into the selection mode. I press Control, I select those 2 nodes of the polygon. I press P to split the 2 nodes. So I have 2 segments now, this way and this way. I press cancel while selecting this way. So I'm opening the barrier in this way. And you see the road is now passing through the barrier that is composed only by 2 open ways that are detached. I can go to another problem here. We have an unclassified road. Sorry. yeah, this was the other part, so that is solved. Although I can see also this part, this is another road passing from the south, so that is fine now. I can go to this error. Ford should be on the node where highway and waterway intersect. So for example, here we have a Ford that is mapped without an intersection. And so I can either, I can delete the tag, and that should solve the problem. Then I have a missing tag, place without name. I will keep those simply because in Africa, I mean, when we are mapping for humanitarian purposes, we typically map places that are toponymy information, like place equal to isolated dwelling or place equal to hamlet, just to give an idea of the expected population that we can have in this area. Although for osmose, ideally, those are used for toponymy, so they should have always a name associated to them. So I have place equal to hamlet, and then the name of the hamlet, name equal to name of the hamlet. As we are mapping on satellite imagery, we cannot know this information. So I would skip those warnings. I mean, I'm just keeping the place as it is, and I'm just ignoring the warning. And then we have another one that is unconnected nodes without physical tags, so no tags. That is interesting. Okay, so that is basically a node that is floating in the middle of nowhere without any tag. So what I have to do here is simple. I just have to delete. So that is easy to solve. So now I should have validated all the data. Just panning out and in from this area, I can see. You see, there is a town here with many buildings. It's actually a big town. So I can see that this road is not properly mapped because this is mapped as a track, but you can understand that this is clearly the connector between this unclassified road and this village because this road is connecting those two places. So I should change the tag, and I will put highway equal to unclassified. I will keep the unpaved. I can remove the track type because this is a sub tag of the highway track, so we don't have to keep it anymore. And the attribution, I mean, we can keep it or leave it. It's just some metadata information. That's it. So I press upload, and you see I don't have any validation error so far. So I can upload the changes, and the data is validated for this specific context. So what I have to do now, as similar to when we map, I will go to the tasking manager here, and for each task I can say whether they are completely mapped or not. So are these tasks well mapped? I will say yes. So I submit the tasks, and you see the tasks will be green. So you will be wondering why I cannot validate, because you have to be part of the validation team. So what happens is that every organization, so for example, I can go to my organization, so UN Mappers. Every organization on the tasking manager have different teams. So you see the teams here are like building validators, topographic validators for UN mappers. We have land cover mappers, youth mappers, validation candidates. So we do have like a bunch of teams. To be validated, we have to select carefully who can be the validator for our projects, because if we would allow even beginners to validate our projects, I mean, it will be a mess because we need the expert mappers to validate the data. So whenever we open a project, you see, if I go here on the project details, I can go on permissions, and you see I can select validators. So I can see like validator candidates, building validators, topographic validators teams can be validators for this specific project. And we also added the hot global validators. So whoever is recognized as a global validator by hot will also be able to validate in our project. So this is something that we are also trying to implement. So we want to involve many more validators in our projects. And Arnali, maybe you can spend some more details on how we do validation, or how we can involve people to our validating teams. So I think I'm going towards the end of the session, so I don't know if you have any questions. I spent like much time mapping on JOSM because I wanted to speak more about the different ways we can do validation. We can explore the history of contributions, to speak with mappers, to identify mappers. So let me know if you have any questions so far.
Right. Thank you, Mikel. So yeah, we have
Thank you.
around minutes. So yeah, there's just one question on the chat from Jesse. But yeah, if you need to go after 2 minutes, that is fine. And then yeah, maybe we can have one more question if there are. But yeah, the question from Jesse is that can we use other tools such as OSM chat, Osmos to do validation using the tasking manager aside from JOSM?
Yes, so that's basically what I showed in the beginning of the session. So you can use the different Osmos or SEM inspector tools and perform the validation without accessing a tasking manager project. So ideally, I mean, the definition of validator is something fictitious, like it makes sense only within the hot tasking manager world, let's say, but any user can validate any data on OSM independently from their level of expertise. So you can use Osmos, OSM Inspector, Who Did It, OSM Cha to do data validation. And you can use either ID editor or JOSM or whatever editor you would like to do the validation. So the validation as we mean it is usually within the word of the hot tasking manager. In that case, we can, in the case of the tasking manager, we can, let's say, gatekeep users to perform validation on projects. But yeah, the whole concept is is like relative in the end.
Yeah, and I think if those who are not validators in the tasking manager, some of them like also use this validation tools like Osmos, also OSM chat to like practice their mapping and their validation as well. So yeah, there's one question from Dowd. So how could I use UN mapping mobile? I think this he means UN maps mobile with OSM or
Okay, so yes, UN Maps mobile and web are, are basically navigation applications, but they are specifically designed for the UN peacekeeping personnel. So through those applications, you can visualize, of course, OSM data as a base map layer information, but there are also like private data sets like security and location of troops. That is data that can be only accessed by UN staff. So those software is like mainly designed as software for UN peacekeeping operators to visualize the data. They are not used to edit OSM or to use it in QGIS. So yeah, those are like basically as kind of the Google Maps for the UN personnel.
right. So yeah, maybe one last question from Ephraim. Can we be part of the UN Mappers team of contributors? If yes, how can we apply?
This is a question for you, maybe Arnali.
Yes.
If we want to
Yeah, so
define
earlier I showed yeah, sorry. Earlier I showed three yeah, three things to do to join the UN Mappers is, yeah, first you learn how to map, and then yeah, map with the UN Mappers team, uh, or map our projects in the tasking manager, and yeah, join us in our community channel in Discord. And also we are part of or we have lots of channels in social media. So yeah, just to close the session, since yeah, we are 2 minutes ended, I'm just so yeah, you can see I also put this in the chat. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, all the validation training that um Mikkel presented in the past 1 hour is all in the learning hub. So yeah, if you can complete, you can check the course. If you're a beginner, try the OSM basics first, and if yeah, you are ready to be a validator, do the OSM advanced courses in the UN Maps Learning Hub. And yeah, we can also provide you certificate of completion once you completed this course. And yeah, please, yeah, please join us on Discord. This should be Discord. So yeah, that's UN Mapper tinyurl.com/UN Mappers Discord. This is kind of our group messaging or chat messaging community channel where yeah, you can ask question, anything under the sun related to mapping, of course. And yeah, if you are here and you are very keen to be a validator, be part of the UN Mappers validator team, we encourage you to apply. You can apply through this link, tinyurl.com/UNMaps validators. We're just asking for your email address and also your OpenStreetMap profile account, so that yeah, we can evaluate, check your history, and then yeah, we will add you to the UN Mappers validation candidates first. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the training doesn't end here. We hope to do some, some webinars and chats through our Discord channel. So yeah, please join our Discord channel, and then yeah, we can have video chats here. We plan to have validation Friday and have around 30-minute chats, video chat through Discord, yeah, with our validation candidates. So yeah, if you want to apply to become a validator of the UN Mappers, please fill out this form, tinyurl.com/UNMaps validators. Please make sure to input a correct OSM profile link or your OSM username there. All right. And yeah, it's case sensitive. OSM user names are case sensitive. So yeah, please do put a valid OSM profile there. All right. So uh okay. Yeah, so yeah, as of now, if you want to have a certificate of completion for UN Maps Learning Hub, yeah, please do email us through un.mappers@un.org, and yeah, we will send you your certificate of completion. All right, so our 5 minutes extended, but yeah, if you're happy, we can take a quick group photo if that is fine with you. So yeah, we can share this with share this in our social media. I'll just stop sharing and recording. Right, great to see you all. Yeah, you can wave, or yeah, just have to have a human to